Congratulations. You have officially made it to the other side of what I may say is and was one of the more intense full moons of 2025. For many reasons. I think we talked about this these past 2 days leading up to this event. And I'm curious, how was it for you? GGH says, a little more intense active than the other days. It's the truth. But the good news is we made it to the other side. Now is kind of the after effects. What needed to happen occurred, and now we are on the other side. Now, whenever we have conflicting energies like this in the sky, I think it's important to note that in astrology and in life, nothing is ever good or bad per se. Everything just is. Justice. Everything just is justice. Okay, there's always a balance and equilibrium that is had. And anytime when we have more intense activities, such as the one that we did leading up to this day, just remember, in no way is it there to punish you or make things hard, but simply to entice action and motivation, as that is the key benefit of the more difficult aspects when it comes to astrology, especially squares, namely squares and oppositions, and conjunctions as well. Depends what planet is involved. So we had this full moon at the time of this video. Okay, so the full moon in Leo occurred and perfected about 12 hours ago. And now that we are on the other side, at the time of this video, the moon has officially moved into Virgo. So we can all breathe a sigh of relief, because the moon in Leo can be a little dramatic. You know, it's a little drama queen, if you know what I mean. You know, Leo as a sign in general begs and asks, not begs, I would say demands is like the better word, demands attention. And yeah, we're on the other side of that. Now, for me personally, what was interesting was this lunation occurred exact square to my Saturn in my second house of self-worth, self-esteem, also skills and abilities, and values as well. And so what ended up happening for me, first and foremost, this was all squaring. The sun was on my Saturn, okay, opposite the moon, squared by Uranus. So for me, it was this motivation to step into greater levels of self-worth. And typically anything that has to do, any aspect with Saturn is long-term. So if anything is happening in the sky and Saturn's in the picture, whatever is happening is bound to last for a longer duration of time. So ultimately we'll see how this works. I feel like for me, as with all full moons, but specifically for me, this full moon was a culmination. And it was a culmination of self-worth. Like, what do I really, truly value in my life? And it was square the fifth house of romance and creativity as well. So you better believe there was a little bit of those themes sprinkled in as well, wherein I had to really question my worth. And, you know, from this place of value, how does my heart express itself? Okay, because when you have high self-worth, there's more peace and calm into your actions versus, I mean, Saturn in the second house, I've kind of had to build the self-worth, and I don't think it started to really activate until after 30s. And so today just felt like this culmination of like, okay, this is how I feel about myself, about what I'm producing. Now, where is it that I'm going to take this in the broader scheme, in the broader sense of things? And how does my heart wish to express now this newfound individuality now that I am on the other side of what I may say was kind of a wild ride these 2 or 3 days for me personally? But the good news is, again, we made it on the other side. And the moon now is a little bit more grounded. Today the sun shines at 24 degrees of Aquarius. You guys know, every time I speak about this progression, every zodiac sign has degrees 0 to 29. 0 is the infancy of that degree. I don't believe in cusps. There are people out there who are just like, oh, I was born on the cusp of, Aries and Taurus. And I'm like, no, you're either in or you're out. Okay, there's no sign, technically speaking. The 0th degree of the any given sign is technically the 30th degree of the previous sign, but still, I do believe that you're either a particular zodiac sign or you're not. There is no in between. Okay, so we have degrees 0 to 29. 0 represents the infancy. Ironically, 0 and 29 are known as critical degrees in astrology. These are very important degrees of concentration. Whereas the 0th degree is the newborn version of that self, the purest expression. And then the 29th degree is kind of like the space where, okay, I've learned all that the zodiac sign has to teach me. Something's got to give. I must transform into the next step in the hero's journey. The zodiac is a representation of the hero's journey from 0 degrees Aries, which is the beginning of spring, which is the new year celebrated all around the world, all the way until 365 degrees-ish, to 29 degrees of Pisces, which represents the all self. Now, we are in Aquarius season right now, okay? And as we progress, this light is being shined on humanity, right? The collective at large. Now, this was interesting to have a full moon also in the sign of the collective, simply because I feel like more than ever, humanity is in the know. Now, this is a double-edged sword, okay? Just because humanity is in the know doesn't mean that everything we know is the truth. And funny enough, the opposite sign of Aquarius, which is Leo, Aquarius could be very cold, to the point, matter of fact, whereas Leo likes to dramatize, okay? So, and then you have Uranus in the picture earlier today squaring this. So it was kind of like this very intense all or nothing dramatic culmination of where we are as a humanity. There's been a lot of things that I see on social media. I'm not a big politics guy. I don't think I ever will be. Shout out Libra. Because Libra doesn't choose sides. It's kind of like it weighs the options. It's the scales. Now, we made it through, okay? There's all these different probably news and pieces of media that you see out there, which I do want to say one particular thing about this. Again, I'm not political whatsoever. The human being is sovereign over the institution. The human being is sovereign over groupthink. So it might be like something that could have popped up today was, whether it's a group you frequent or a collective, You may have been in the middle of some sort of like drama that occurred within this group that you frequent. But ultimately, whatever unfolded, how and what motivates you to continue being yourself in the face of this multiplicity of people, right? Because if Aquarius is the group, Leo is the individual ego. And Uranus and Taurus, right? This is revolutioning our values. Taurus rules the second house naturally. So it's like squaring both of these two very personal planets, this opposition of our wants and our needs. What did this inspire in you? How much more authentically can you show up for the world? While realizing that, yes, you alone, unique or individual and special, this is the archetype of the sun, which rules Leo. It says that every heart is worthy of being seen, and every heart is worthy of shining and finding and seeking its joy. But opposite this Aquarian energy, the sun in Aquarius, we're kind of like in the space where like some questions may arise as to really our place within this group, within this collective. And then you have the rebel, the awakener, that which causes breakdowns or breakthroughs. But sometimes you got to break down in order to break through. Challenging this notion, and it says there's something deeper. There's a more authentic version of you that is even beyond what is being represented between this group and who you think you are. And this was the gift of this full moon. So we've made it. Shout out to the K Real. GGH says authenticity is huge value in our era where we are too much resembling too grouped. And this is the truth. This is the truth. For some reason, this comment that you wrote makes me think of also of the algorithm. Okay? The algorithm. It's interesting because some people say you are the algorithm, right? And it's true. We are the algorithm. But can you change the algorithm? One, how do you change the algorithm? You know, like, are you stuck in this algorithm forever? Just some thoughts to think about. While digging deeper to break through who you think you are and all this noise that we are bombarded with into a set of new revolutionary value that you bring to the table, you bring to the family, you bring to your groups of friends, you bring to your own heart as well. Because I think that is equally important, what you bring onto yourself and what you give to yourself. So, guys, we freaking made it. Like, this was seriously one of the more intense weeks. I'm not going to lie. I felt it. I felt it all, but now Moon is in Virgo, so we are a lot more grounded in our emotional safety. So the best things to do right now is focus on health, your daily routine, reconnecting with the day-to-day, because this was such a heart-oriented energy, and like I just feel like for a lot of us out there, we just wanted to break free. We're just like, I know I'm worth, or I know there's more to this than what is being presented. Whatever that was, wherever that was playing in your life. And now we are on the other side. Celebrating, hopefully. Let me drink this cacao real quick. Hold on. I freaking love cacao, guys. Like, if you haven't tried cacao, it is such a beautiful, heart-opening, day-to-day thing. I drink it instead of coffee. It's freaking beautiful. So, we made it. And now the sun is going to complete its transit in Aquarius. I would say quite peacefully from here on out. I don't really foresee anything else in any big major events in the sign of Aquarius, but as we evolve through this sign, okay, remember the sun is and can represent our present consciousness, our wants. So, to me, it's like a flashlight that goes through the entire zodiacal wheel. And being an Aquarius, depending on how this interacts with your sun, moon, or rising, we are gaining a glimpse into the collective, into the groups that we frequent or are interested in. Also, the fruits of our labor as well. This is a big one when it comes to Aquarius. The fruits of our labor. Full moons represent culminations. So something bore fruit today. And I think it's worth contemplating on what that thing was. It may have came about in a very surprising and dramatic way, but reflect on these past couple of days, because on Monday we had the mind. On Tuesday, the mind being revolutionized. On Tuesday, we had our awareness shifting. And today, the emotions came into play. And we wrapped up this lunar cycle. And here we are. Here we are. In these next couple of days, as Aquarius season comes to an end, I want you to think about something. I want you to think about your collective contributions. Okay, how am I showing up from this point on, especially from this point on, because now we're closing out this cycle, right? How am I showing up in groups? Am I able to be authentically myself and hold true to my values? Okay. I think this is the essence of power. When you believe in yourself and nobody can tell you, hey, don't do this. I mean, of course, you have to be cautious, in my opinion. This is my Saturn. This is the Aquarius sun on top of my Saturn speaking. It's like, and I just got this download too right now, but it's like, you always have to be cautious. You don't always have to. Yes, it's important to stay authentic and stay true, but I think caution is also important. The download that I got was this sun on my Saturn specifically speaks to this, what we're doing here. There's a lot of things that I'm doing behind the scenes right now too to make this type of content better, but my lives are strictly for my subscribers, to reconnect with them, to reconnect with my community, okay? While at the same time, I have visions and plans to grow this community, grow this channel of like-minded individuals who believe that there's more to life than meets the eye. And so I take this knowledge very seriously. But with that Leo full moon, it's how can I show up and just be myself and let this be an offering of joy versus something that has to be mechanical, because, there's a lot of astrologers who come on here and talk and whatever, but, I really want to connect with individuals while at the same time sharing my authentic story and my values so that we can all transform together. So GGH says, think that the biggest power a human can hold is absolute self-confidence and high self-esteem. It acts like a magic superpower. I certainly agree with that. This is the essence of this entire series as well, one with the sun. The sun represents exactly that. It's the light that you are here to shine. And when we shine that light, we are in our truth, and we're exhibiting high self-esteem and self-confidence. Because how many places or spaces did you try to shine your light and somebody reacted a certain way to that shining? Which I think we've all been there at some point, one way or another. But this is the essence of the transformation and the transformative journey that I personally embark on every day while communing with the symbolism of astrology. Now, I've said this before, and I think I will always mention this to people who tune into my lives. Astrology has to do with correlations, not necessarily causations. And what do I mean by that? We are correlating these symbols and the rotations of the planetary bodies and the angles that they form with one another to specific events. They're not necessarily causing it, although I should make a video on that explaining exactly how, because it has to do with subtle energy. Our eyes and our ears can only perceive a finite amount of the spectrum, the frequency spectrum. And there's just so much more beyond what we see, hear, taste, smell, touch physically. But through this understanding, through this communing with the symbolism of astrology, I have definitely been able to gain more self-confidence, more self-esteem, because I see that there's always a greater, more loving plan. Though there may be some intense days, some choppy waters, there's always a resolution, okay? Because all the planetary bodies move, and today's 90-degree angle of conflict and challenge is some, depending on the planet, the next few days, weeks, or months, that planet moves, and now we are forming the 120-degree angle, which is supremely harmonious and can represent many blessings into our lives. So, you guys made it. Congratulations. We will definitely be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, wherein we will talk more and cover tomorrow's beautiful day under the sun. Now, I'm going to do like one or two quick readings in the live chat. So if you guys can drop your rising signs, do like one or two quick readings, and then I got to get out of here because it's time. Got something to do after this. Yo, shout out to Gregory Manarino in the finance world. It's true, man. He is, I do appreciate him. He was actually a very important chapter in my life, and I have this platform because of him. So, Gemini rising. Let's see. This happened. Yeah. This happened in your 12th, 9th, and the 3rd house. I feel like you might be considering traveling more or having like a change of scenery based off of what was occurring these past couple of days. Whether you and when you choose to do that, that is completely up to you. But that's kind of what I see with that. And just overall leaning into transforming your habits and your routines, which is perfect for you because this is the moon in Virgo. This is a perfect rising sign for somebody to place here. The K Real says, yeah, Gregory M is good stuff. He is. He was my mentor. And, you know, he taught me some good things. And I definitely appreciated him. Anyways, guys, we have come to the end of today's live stream. Share below. What has the sun revealed to you today? Leave it in the comments. And make sure you guys join me tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the next one. And you join me being one with the sun. Trying to get that last closing, you know, that last closing line better. But guys, join me tomorrow. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. And I swear I have it written down somewhere. I have it written down somewhere. The closing. I'm working on a really cool outline for these lives, and you know, we just launched, so not everything is perfect, but I'm just so excited to be doing this and to continue to elevate my content, my offerings, these lives, and also growing this community with the help of each and every single one of you. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a very beautiful rest of your days. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the chat. Peace out.